Hi, this is Carrie from Easy Immune Health. Today we're going to be talking about the best vitamin D by supplements, sun, or tanning beds. If one is going to make an evolutionary argument for what a natural vitamin D level might be, how about getting vitamin D in the way nature intended? Sun instead of supplements. Let's run through the pros and cons. Those supplements may only cost about $10 a year. Sunlight is free. You never have to worry about too much vitamin D from sunlight since your body has a way to regulate production in the skin. So we don't have to put our trust into supplement companies that may not label their products properly. In fact, only about half the brands came within 10% of their labeled amount. In fact, there have been incidences of toxicity, particularly in children, by mislabeled vitamin D supplements. While this is rare, it does occur. And sunlight may have benefits beyond vitamin D, like this amazing story about how your body may use the sun's near-infrared rays that penetrate your skin to activate chlorophyll byproducts in your bloodstream to make coenzyme Q10. Coenzyme Q10 is an important nutrient in heart health. Well, there's another way that your body appears to use the sun's rays to maximize the effects of the greens we eat. Within 30 minutes of exposure to ultraviolet rays and sunlight, you can get a significant drop in blood pressure and improvement in arterial thanks to a burst of nitric oxide releasing compounds that flow into your bloodstream. Surprisingly, you can even measure the nitric oxide passing straight off your skin. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Of course, you actually have to eat your greens or beets in the first place for this to happen. And arugula, the green, the salad green, is a particularly good source of nitric oxide production. But that combo of greens and sunlight may help explain the sun protection that plant-based eaters experience. Not only that, but morning exposure may help those with seasonal affective disorder, something most of us already knew, as well as improve the mood of wheelchair-bound nursing home residents. I've talked about the benefits of avoiding light at night, but underexposure to daytime sunlight may also affect our melatonin levels, which doesn't just regulate our circadian rhythms, but also be helpful in the prevention of cancer and other diseases. Older men and women getting 2 hours of outside light during the day appear to secrete 13% more melatonin at night, though we're not sure what, if any, clinical significance this has. Of course, there are downsides of sun exposure, one of those being the increased risk of cataracts, a leading cause of vision loss, though this risk can be managed by wearing a brimmed hat and sunglasses. Of course, we all know that sunlight ages our skin, as illustrated here. Who can guess what profession this guy was in? He was a truck driver who spent decades getting more sun on the left side of his face. Even through the window, you can notice the incredible difference in the two sides of his face. So we can all see what sunlight can do, and we know this intuitively. The effects of sunlight on the skin are profound, and are estimated to account for up to 90% of visible skin aging. It also affects wrinkles, thickening, skin thickening, and loss of elasticity. Things like smoking and sun exposure can make you look 11 years. Cosmetic surgery can make you look 8 years younger. And we all know that there's risks to cosmetic surgery. But a healthy lifestyle may work even better. The reason doctors preach sun protection, though, is not for youthful skin looks, but because of skin cancer. The World Health Organization avoids it recommends avoiding outdoor activities at midday, wearing clothing to cover the whole body, and daily use of sunscreen. They warn about sun exposure, and for good reason. Given the millions of skin cancers and thousands of deaths diagnosed every year in the US alone, the UV rays in sunlight are considered a so-called complete carcinogen, meaning they can not only initiate cancer but promote its progression and spread. Melanoma is the scariest, which makes the rising incidence among young women particularly alarming. This increase has been blamed on the increased usage of tanning salons. So although tanning salons are one way that we can get our vitamin D, tanning beds and UV rays in general are considered class 1 carcinogens like processed meat, accounting for as many as 3/4 of melanoma cases among young people. That's 6 times the risk of melanoma for those who visited tanning salons 10 or more times before the age of 30. 76% of all melanomas in young people were attributed to sunbed use. And tanning industry is big business. In the US alone, it employs over 160,000 people and profits are over US 5 billion per year. One US study reported that tanning salons were more common than either Starbucks or McDonald's. And they use those dollars, like the tobacco industry, to downplay the risks of products. New laws are being passed to regulate tanning salons, including prohibitions, like in the country of Brazil, to age restrictions for minors. But unlike tobacco, tanning isn't addictive, or is it? There are people who tan compulsively and report a so-called tanner's high. Describing tanning behavior like a substance abuse disorder seems, on its face, a little silly until you stick people in a brain scan and show the same kind of reward pathways light up in the brain, thanks to the endorphins released by your skin when you're exposed to UV rays. The current studies suggest that UV exposure is biologically addictive, but dangerous due to UV's mutagenic activities toward formation of common forms of skin cancer. Just simply do not recommend tanning beds, not to mention the fact that tanning beds mostly produce UVB rays and not the UVA rays that vitamin D produces. It, Tanning beds can increase vitamin D, but it's not clear how viable that is to produce vitamin D. There are vitamin D tanning beds, but those are few and far between. The vitamin D specific tanning beds seem to be safe. The jury would still be out. And, it, and currently, we don't recommend sunbeds to be used as a source of vitamin D to the general population. So, what other choices do we have? Well, there's the last one, supplements. And while that doesn't always seem like the best choice, it's the best choice for most people. It avoids the dangers of both tanning rays and sunlight. I hope you enjoyed this show. This is Carrie from Easy Immune Health. Thanks for listening.